this lab, we're going to install WDS, install a boot and install images, install WADK, create a distribution share, select a Windows image, and create an answer file. First, we're going to go to the server manager, and we're going to go to manage and go to add roles and features, and we're going to select next, and we're going to select role based and the feature based installation. Click next. We're going to select a server from the server pool. Click next, and we're going to scroll down till we see Windows Deployment Services and check it, and click add feature. Click next, click next, click next, and select development server and transport server, and click next, and click install. And I'm going to pause the video while it's installing. BGS is finished installing. We're going to go ahead and close out. We're going to go up to Tools. We're going to go to Windows Deployment Services. And now we're going to open up servers. I'm going to go to the server and right click and go to Configure Server. Click Next. Integrate with Active Directory. Click Next. And we're just going to go ahead and use the C drive remote install and click Next and select Yes. We're going to select Respond to all client computers and check Require administrator approval for unknown computers. Click Next, and we're going to pause the video for the installation. Installation is done. We're going to click Finished, and as you can tell, install images, boot images, pending devices, multicasting transmissions, and drivers are now underneath the server. Now we're going to create a folder in the C drive called Software. So we're going to go to the File Management, go to the C drive, right click, go to New, go to Folder, and type in Software. And now we're going to copy Server 2012 R2 iOS file to the software folder. So I'm going to go to my external hard drive, and get the disimage file and copy. Go to the C drive, go to the software folder, right click and paste. And I'm going to pause the video while it's copying over. The Windows Server 2000 R2 is done copying over. We're going to exit out, go to Install Images, and right click and add Install Image. We're going to name the image group Server 2012 R2 ISO. And click Next. And now we're going to select Browse and go to the D drive. Go to Sources. Scroll down. Go to Install Vim. Open. Click Next. And we're going to deselect all the other servers besides the server data center. And we're going to select Next. Next. And we're going to wait for the install, and I'm going to pause the video. The image is installed. Now we're going to click Finish. And as you can see, the Windows Server R2 Data Center is installed under the Install Image file. Now we're going to minimize, and now we're going to go onto the internet, and we're going to download the Windows ADK, the Internet Explorer. We're going to type in Windows ADK and hit enter. Go to the first link, and now we're going to select download, and now we're going to select run, and we're going to select next, and next to select accept, and we're going to uncheck Windows Performance Toolkit, and we're going to make sure Deployment Tools and Windows Pre-Installation Environment is selected and select Install. And I'm going to pause the video while this installs. Now that the Windows Assessment Development Kit is done downloading, now we're going to click Close and exit out. And now we're going to copy the install WIM file from the source folder to the software folder on the C drive. So we're going to go to the File Management, and we're going to go to the D drive, go to the source folder, we're going to scroll down till we find the install WIM file, and we're going to right click and copy. Now we're going to go to the C drive, go to software, right click and paste. We're going to pause the video while it installs. Now that the install WIM file is done copying over, now we're going to go to the C drive and we're going to create a folder called distribution. So right click, go to new, go to folder, and now type in distribution. And now we're going to minimize the Windows ADK. And now we're going to go to Windows System Image Manager. Now we're going to go to Tools and go to Create Distribution Share. Now we're going to go to this PC and go to the C drive, go to Distribution and click Open. Now we're going to go to the Windows image and right click and select Windows image, and we're going to go to this PC into the C drive. We're going to go to Software, and we're going to go to the Install WIM, click on it, and we are going to install the image Windows Server 2012 R2 Server Data Center. So click it and click OK. Just click Yes. And I'm going to pause while it generates the catalog folder. The catalog is finished. Now we're going to go to File, go to New Answer File. Now we're going to go to Components and expand it. We're going to scroll down till we see International Core WinP and right click, Add Settings. Now we're going to configure the settings. For the local, we're going to type in EN-US. For the system location, we're going to type in EN-US. For the language, we're going to type in EN-US. For the fallback, we're going to type in EN-US. For the user local, we're going to type in EN-US. Now we're going to expand the International Core WinP and open up the setting language and type in EN-US. Now we're going to go back down to the Windows image and scroll down until we see Windows Microsoft Setup. We're going to expand it, go to Disk Configuration and right click, Add Setting, go to Windows Deployment Services and right click and Add Settings. Now under Disk Configuration, we're going to right click, Insert New Disk. Now we're going to type in for the disk ID 0 and the wipe disk, we're going to change it to true. Now we're going to expand the new disk and go to Create Pardons and right click, Create New Pardon. To go to the settings, and we're going to set the extend to true. We're going to set the order to 1, and we're going to set the type to primary. Now we're going to go to modified pardons. Now we're going to go to insert. Now we're going to set the active to true. We're going to set the extend to false. The format we're going to set to NTFS. The label we're going to set to system. The letter we're going to set to C. The order we're going to set to 1. The pardon ID we're going to set to 1. Now we're going to go to Windows Deployment Services and expand it. Go to the image selection. Go to Install Image. Now we're going to minimize. Now we're going to go to Server Manager and go to Tools. Go to Windows Deployment Services. Go to Servers. Go to the servers. Go to Install Images. Go to Server 2012. We're going to right click on Windows Server 2012 and go to Properties. We're going to copy the file name. So right click and copy. Now we're going to go back to the Windows System Image Manager and go to File Name and right click and paste. Now we're going to minimize again and go to Windows Deployment Services, right click, Properties, and copy the image name. And now we're going to go to image name. Now we're going to go to the image name and right click and paste. Now we're going to go back again to Windows Deployment Services, go to Properties, and copy the image group name. So we're going to right click and copy, go back and paste the image group. Now we're going to go to Install To, go to the disk ID, type in 0, the pardon ID to 1. Now we're going to go to Login and Expand It and Credentials. Now we're going to type in the domain, which is class2050.com. And our username. Now we're going to go to Tools and go to Validate Answer File, and as you can tell there's no warnings or errors. Now we're going to go to File and Save Answer File. We're going to go to the C drive and go to Remote Install. Go to the WDS Client Unattended. Now we're going to save the file as WDS Client Unattended. And click Save. Now we're going to right click on the server and go to Properties, go to Client, select Enable Unattended Install, go to Browse, to WDS Client Unattended and open. Now click OK. I'm going to go back to the Windows System Image Manager and go to File, go to New Answer File. Now we're going to go to the Windows image and scroll down till we see. Now we're going to expand it and delete all the links inside of it. So select Auto Logon and delete all the links. Now we're going to set up the settings. So the computer name will be Server B. And now we're going to type in the product key. We're finished typing in the product key. Now we're going to go to the time zone and type in Pacific Standard Time. Now we're going to go back to the Windows image. We're going to scroll down until we see Microsoft Unattended Join. We're going to right click and add settings. Now we're going to expand it and expand identification. We're going to delete Pro Browsing. Now we're going to set up the settings for credentials. So type in class2050.com as our domain. And now we're going to type in our password. Now our username. To go to the Windows image and scroll up till we see Microsoft Windows Image Core and right click and add to Pass7 OB system. Now we're going to go down till we see Microsoft Windows Shell Setup and expand it and go to Auto Log On and right click, add setting to Pass7. Now right click on OB, right click. Now we're going to right click on OB and add setting to Pass7, and we're going to go to user accounts, right click and add setting to Pass7. Now we're going to go to the auto log on. Now we're going to type in the domain, which is class2050.com. Go to enabled and set to true. The auto. Now for the logon count, we're going to type in 5. For the username, we're going to type in server B/administrator. Now we're going to go to password and type in the password. We're going to go to OB, and now we're going to go to hide page, and we're going to select it to true. Now we're going to go to the hide wireless setup, and we're going to select true. The network location, we're going to select work. Protect your PC, and we're going to tap 1. Now we're going to go to user accounts. Now we're going to go to user accounts and go to administrative password and type in the password. Now we're going to go to domain accounts and right click, insert new domain account. We're going to go to the domain and type in class2050.com. Go to the domain account list and right click and insert new domain account. Now we're going to go to the group and we're going to type in domain users and the name server B. Now we're going to go to local accounts and right click, insert new local account. To go to, now for the display name, we're going to type in server B. The group, we're going to type in administrators. And for the name, we're going to type in server B. We're going to go to the local accounts and go to the password. Now we're going to type in the password. Now we're going to go up to Tools and Validate Answer File. And as you can tell, there's no warnings or errors. So now we're going to go to File, Save Answer File. We're going to go to the C drive, go to Remote Install, go to the WDS Client Unintended. And now we're going to save it as OB Unattended. And save. Now we're going to minimize and go to Windows Deployment Services and go to the Server 2012. Now we're going to go to Windows Server and right click and go to Properties. Now we're going to select Allow Image to Install Unattended Mode, select File, go to Browse, we're going to go to OB Unattended, click Open, click OK. Now we're going to minimize, and now we're going to minimize Service Manager. Now we're going to go back to Home. We're going to create a new virtual machine. Select Typical. Select Next. will install an operating system later. Click Next. Microsoft Windows, Windows Server 2012. Click Next. We're going to name this server Server B. And we're going to click Next. We're going to store this on a single file. Click Next. Click Finished. Now we're going to set the settings. So go to Processors. Go to Number of Processors. Select 2. Go to the network adapter. Select Host Only. Click OK. Now we're going to start up the machine. I'm going to pause the video while Windows installs. We have finished creating an uninitial install of Server B.